for that introduction, Megan. So, who here can tell me where this $5 bill comes from? Anybody? The Mint?
U.S. Treasury.
U.S. Treasury? Yep, or the Federal Reserve. And would you believe that back in 2009, actually could have purchased or exchanged this $5 bill for 100 trillion Zimbabwe dollars, which if that was in dollar bills of cash, probably wouldn't fit in this room or this building. As many of you know, this bill could also be exchanged for a cup of coffee over at the Beehive. And as St. Ambrose students, we could also use BuzzBucks, which is the university's currency. And we could exchange that for a cup of coffee. According to Investopedia, currency is generally accepted form of money, including coins and paper notes, which is issued by a government and circulated within an economy. And for you to really value and understand what you spend and purchase, I will define the concept of currency using three key elements: the diversity, value, and belief in currency. So, the element of diversity. According to a foreign exchange company, Travelex, there are 180 current currencies across the world as recognized by the United Nations. And those would be your national currencies, which cover things like cash, debit, credit, and online banking that we have here. But there are also physical currencies such as gold, silver, platinum, other commodities, physical goods like oil, perhaps. And we're moving into an age of digital currency as well, like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies. And believe it or not, in the 17th century Netherlands, they used tulip bulbs for their currency, and that's why I have the tulip price index up there. So it eventually did crash, like you probably could have expected, but the rich did use tulips. So currency is not just cash. There's no single utilitarian form that everybody around the world uses. Another element is the value of currency. Now, when you use this $5 to buy a cup of coffee, the $5 bill actually only cost 11.5 cents to create. That's from the Federal Reserve. And a Berkeley professor of economics, Hal Varian, gives this example when describing where that actual value, where the difference comes from. Just as a fax machine is valuable to you only if lots of other people you correspond with also have fax machines, a currency is valuable to you if a lot of people you transact with are willing to accept it as payment. So something without much value would be monopoly money because people are not willing to accept that, handing that in. But that touches on the element of belief, that there's not much of a difference between paper dollars, US dollars, and a monopoly dollar, because essentially they're both paper. But there's that belief that using the $5 bill, you are agreeing and believing that there's a social consensus that that cup of coffee is worth $5, no more and no less. And that's the same for any service or good you want to purchase. And if you don't want to agree or believe in that social consensus, then you'll simply hold on to the money. And then that therefore will change perhaps the price of the cup of coffee or the value of the dollar. And without the belief in a currency, we would have to barter with physical goods, which would be taking a step back. So, in conclusion, I define currency today. And the belief and acceptance that gives the object its value. I believe that you may now understand this anonymous quote a little better. The currency of notes in themselves are nothing but paper.